closer look at Gekko and what he actually brings to the game. Let's hear from Ryan Coussard, agent gameplay designer on the VALORANT characters team.
Hello everybody, yeah, Brennan Sideshow here, joined with a very, very exclusive interview of Ryan Coussard, the game designer behind the new agent, Gekko, that's due to be released pretty soon. And yeah, thank you very much for joining us, Ryan. You know, I know you've just flown in recently straight into Brazil, so yeah, thank you for your time.
Yeah, no, I'm stoked to be here. It's like I've always wanted to do some of the stuff with you guys, so it's cool to be on here.
Well, let's talk about the abilities. The first one I think that we want to talk about is Mosh Pit, right?
Yeah,
this ability, you know, heavy clearance. It looks really quite powerful as well in the right hands as well.
So there's going to be a lot of similarities to KO's Fragment, but it's going to be more of an approachable, like it's going to be a very nice zone that it covers. It gives you a lot of time to kind of run out of it and a lot of time to react, but it is going to kind of give you a pretty big zone, and so
it does crazy damage too, right?
It does, yeah. So it's very similar to like Breach's Fusion Blast. So if you don't get out of it, you know it's deadly in the center.
So that is one of the abilities. That is the only ability that you can't go and pick back up again as well.
Well, Mosh is still trying to figure it out. Like the other ones, you know, they're a little more grown. He's just a little baby trying to figure it out.
Right. Okay,
I see. Mosh, you know, it's for all, you know, listen, Mosh, we love Mosh, but not the signature ability of Gekko. In fact, that's a different ability, right? That's Dizzy.
Right. Yeah, that's right. So the signature that we have, kind of the bread and butter, the initiator tool, is going to be Dizzy. So Dizzy is what you're using kind of round to round. It's more of like a versatile tool to be able to clear like mid, some short, and long range angles to compete with some of our other initiators. But it definitely has like a lot of different ways to kind of counterplay, and different ways to kind of change how you take spaces compared to some of the other initiators.
And it is kind of similar to some other abilities in that it blinds your opponent, but it works in quite a different way, right?
Right, yeah. We wanted to try something that was a little less, like it kind of obfuscates your screen a little bit less, gives you a little easier of a time to kind of maneuver around.
Right.
But it also has a lot of like downsides and a lot of trade-offs to, like it can kind of get shot and mitigate a lot of the area there. But the idea there was kind of creating like a breaking tool that's a little more approachable for like, you know, all players.
Right. But talk to me a bit more about, so you're an opponent, there's a Dizzy coming towards you.
Right.
You shoot the Dizzy, it's now on the floor, and the gameplay loop is kind of that the Gekko can go and retrieve that for another Dizzy in like 10 seconds time.
Right.
Do you see a lot of the gameplay loop being around like fighting for those abilities, almost like people fight around ult orbs now?
Yeah, so it's in a similar way that you can kind of like play around a lot of Killjoy's utility, where you hear the turret, then the strategy comes in. It's like, okay, so now we hear the turret, what do we do next? Same thing with Dizzy. Once the reclaim, or once the globule is created, there's a couple seconds there where you really have to fight for it. It becomes like a mini objective, similar to some of the ultimate orbs that you see.
Yeah.
And so we figured kind of creating a power space and kind of creeping your way forward and trying this new style of, or this new pacing of initiator play was going to be interesting. So we'll just have to find out if it is.
Okay, so my favorite ability that we play tested so far has to be the Wingman, right? Because me and Josh were playing it.
Running.
He is running, he is sprinting, but that is such a unique ability as well in terms of the way it plays out. Very similar to some of us in terms of Boombot and everything else, but yeah, I'll let you explain it and take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. So Wingman is kind of your friend that helps you clear these spaces. There's going to be like the close to mid-range, runs forward, parkours all over the place. As soon as it sees an enemy, it'll jump up and then kind of like clap its hands together and do this like huge concussive bark. So there's like a cone of area that it affects, and anyone in that cone is concussed.
Yeah, nice. But that's not the only thing that's special about Wingman, right? Because there is a very unique feature. You guys are really pushing the envelope in terms of how the game is developed with the mechanics, and that's Wingman, who got like this ult fire, right?
Right, yeah. So one of the things we wanted to try, you know, in the whole theme of like power and numbers kind of thing, we wanted to allow Wingman to also kind of steal the spike from you and also run with it and plant the spike itself. You know? So as it's planting the spike, you can be covering it. And on the flip side, on defense, if you're kind of in these 1v1s, these 1v2s, you can send Wingman to defuse the spike as well, and you can cover Wingman as opposed to, you know, someone having to cover you.
It's a really unique interaction, but also, if Wingman goes down on his intrepid venture towards the spike, he just abandons it in enemy territory, right?
Yeah,
so you do have to be a bit careful in terms of how it's used.
Absolutely,
The final ability, the ultimate that we want to talk about, which is the, you know, the big one, honestly, the big one. Quite scary to see it running at you in the server as well.
That's Thrash, So Thrash is Gekko's ultimate. Pit, you equip Thrash, you'll see a cool little animation of it swimming around. Once you cast it, you possess Thrash. Thrash swims around and clears space pretty rapidly, as you guys are sure have seen. Once you explode or once you lunge and explode onto an enemy, there's a big radius that is detained. So any player caught is detained.
Yeah, it looks really fun to play, and I'm just looking forward to seeing some of the content creators play it here in Sao Paulo, seeing people get their hands on it as well. You must be looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. I think there's only like so much we can do ourselves, and kind of like, you know, when we're playing it, there's only so much we can see.
Yeah.
And so as soon as it hits live and as soon as like the content creators really get their hands on it, we're going to see some pretty cool videos, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's going to do it for the interview as well. Thank you very much.
Oh, awesome. Yeah,
Appreciate it, man. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the time. Hope you enjoy Sao Paulo. Hope you enjoy the games as well.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, all right, we'll send it back.
Thank you very much, Brent, Saisho, and Ryan. Mimi, I can't wait to play him. What did you make of his abilities?
It's going to be so cool. I feel like there's so much potential that you can do with all of them, especially the mechanic of being able to recover your friends after using it. It's so unique compared to the other agents we have in the game.
You could defuse spikes and everything.
It's crazy.
It's
It's
nuts.
so cute.
Just gonna send out this little guy and just have it help, have that happen. This is gonna be wild to see in the hands of the pros.
We get to have friends in Valorant, guys. Finally.
Finally.
Well, let's put this to the audience. I want to know what you guys at home think. Which of Gekko's abilities are you most excited to see? For me, it is Wingman, hands down. Make sure you use the QR code to scan it and cast your vote now, and we'll reveal the result in a little bit. I'm gonna rig the vote towards Wingman. I'm not gonna. I don't know
think
what
you
you guys
need
think.
to. He's adorable.
Yeah, I think I'd have to vote for Dizzy. Having to pick up your scouting utility in the flash, it's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool indeed. But now we've met Gekko. Let's see him in action in the
Would
show
love to.
match in a little bit, because I know the teams are definitely gonna play him.
And I'm right away excited to see how these guys use Wingman. I mean, that's what the Dust was talking about, but like, can they get plants down? Can they actually make this thing work? They're gonna go for it right off the bat, I think. That's the wrong ability. There's Wingman coming out.
Honestly, I just want to see him go try to plant.
There you go.
He goes there. He's adorable. Bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, no! Not Wingman!
Yeah, this is what I was saying too. Is Lotus is great for, you know, the B plants. It tends to be a little scarier, right? Like you kind of have to put your body on the line. With a couple smokes, or a couple flashes to kind of help Wingman in, the plant becomes a lot safer, and you just have to worry about the retake.
Yeah, in this arena.
That's got to feel pretty good to get an ace in front of a crowd like this, huh? Right? Same vibes? All right. Oh,
There you go.
Did he
That's a hit.
oh, Cena
they're getting
and the
Harper's
Reckoning? Bro,
There we
Cena's
go.
so dead.
Yeah.
Here it goes. So it's just.
Does he have the spike?
Does he? Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
And here it goes.
Look at him go.
Don't do it.
Come on. We just want to see the little guy succeed once.
Same type of thing.
Right. So he cast Dizzy to take the space, another Dizzy to take the site, and here comes the plant attempt. Protects the plant with Mosh Pit, and here we go.
Nice.
Just denies that space entirely. And
Plant the spike, so only knows two things, and look at, so now here they're protecting Wingman with a couple things. Smoke here, Dizzy to kind of protect the plant, and here it is.
He